All righty. Hello, Mialisia, and happy Monday. You know what? I love Mondays because we get the opportunity to start a brand new week. And I've often thought about that as having been working in this industry for the last 15 years. Most of our society looks forward to Fridays and dreads Mondays. And I love that I don't have to live in that kind of mindset of dreading Mondays. That is just not a fun way to live. And I love that in Mialisia, we get to have fun every single day. We get to have fun on the weekend. We get to have fun on Monday. We get to have fun every day because we are creating something truly exciting, and we are creating success in our life. And that translates to not only our personal lives, financially and otherwise, but our families and our societies, our communities. And that's just something to look forward to. So congratulations for not being a part of the status quo who dreads Mondays. And I just love Mondays, and I hope that you are excited and geared up for a fantastic Monday and an absolutely amazing week. We have a lot to look forward to this week, as Michael just talked about, with your Superstart and your and Valentine's sales. Oh my word, you could have a lot of success this week. So get ready, let's get set, and we are going to go, go, go. And today's topic will help you to get in the right mindset for creating that kind of success and that kind of attitude. So first of all, I hope that you're all taking notes. The faintest ink is stronger than the most retentive memory, and you will actually retain things more when you take notes. So any chance that you get to take some notes on our corporate power hours or with your team trainings, don't just sit there and listen and say, gosh, that was really good, but be jotting notes down. And one of the most important ways that you can take notes is to have an action notebook, something that you keep with you at all times, whether that be through your smartphone or your tablet, or whether you are an old-fashioned person like I am and you just frankly have a piece of paper and a pen. I have a little action notebook that I keep with me at all times, and I just pray for inspiration during the day, and when I hear something on a training or I have a thought, I take out that action notebook and write it down. So I hope that you'll take some action notes today, but the very first thing that I want you to write down on your paper is that what you focus on expands. Today we're talking about branding yourself, and the most important person that has to believe in you as a brand is you. And what you think about, really you do bring about. I know that that's cliche, and those of you who've been in the industry for a while, we hear these things all the time. But I will tell you that the times that I've had the most success in this industry are the times when I am thinking about the right stuff, when I have branded myself for myself, and I believe that I have what it takes to be a top and successful leader. We don't all start out as somebody who is automatically successful and automatically leading a group of 1,000 people or 10,000 people. So what's the difference? What's the difference between those people who start at the very beginning just like everyone else and the people who build the organizations and the people who don't? Well, I personally believe that you have to believe that you can do it. And I'm going to talk more about that, but the very next thing I want you to write down on your paper is believe you are enough. I personally believe that we're all like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. I know we've got some guys on the call, so just go with me on this analogy, guys, but we're always searching for the secret answer, for the magic tip, or the way that we're going to, get home. And really, we all have it in us every single step of the way. So you don't have to click your heels or have some magic formula to success. But you need to, number 3, write this down, focus on your strengths. What are your strengths? What do you know that you're good at? I was able to talk to one of the designers on Team Magic. Many of you know her, Jill Adams. And Jill did just that this last couple of weeks since our kickoff meetings happened. She focused on her strengths, and she knew she was really good at connecting with people. And so she did that through the Stop and Shop. And because of that, because she connected with people and she got out there and showed the concept through our Stop and Shop way to do the business, she was able to not only get excellent sales, but she rebooked fashion events. She had more than she had before and opportunities to talk about the business, and she asked for referrals. And so because she focused on her strengths, not her circumstances of being a stay-at-home mom, living in a town of 200 people, having 2 autistic children, having to drive an hour away multiple times a week for their therapy, she could have easily focused on all of the things that she didn't have in place, or that she maybe didn't have as, ease in her life, but she focused on her strengths. And because she focused on her strengths, she looked for opportunities to create success in her business. So I guess the point that I'm making here right at the beginning is to brand yourself first starts in your own mind by focusing on the things that you want to have expand, believing that you are enough, and focusing on your strengths. Well, throughout this last 15, now almost 16 years that I've been in this industry, Lance and I have always teased that we always live and speak 6 months ahead. And I want to challenge you to do the same. Sometimes I hear people say, you know what, I don't want to set big goals, because when I set big goals, then I get discouraged, because what if I don't reach them? So if I set small goals, then I'll always believe them, and I'll always have them, I guess, reached, or however you want to look at that. And I want to tell you that that's absolutely backwards way of thinking for success. So I want you to think about, where do you want to be 6 months from now? 6 months from now, you are going to be at our company convention in San Diego, California. 6 months from now, you are going to have had incredible success. How big of a team do you want to have? How many level 1 designers do you want to have? How much do you want to have in personal sales volume? What do you want to have for your team volume? Do you want to be able to tell people, oh my gosh, my team, my first year in Mialisia did $500,000 in retail sales, or $1 million in retail sales, or maybe even $5 million in retail sales? Where do you want to be 6 months from now? And you need to talk about it, and you need to live it. I want to give you a story from my personal experience in working this business. I had been in the industry for a few months, and I felt like I was working really hard, and I was talking to people about the business. And actually, I had talked to 26 people about my business opportunity with my other company, and they all had said no. And I was really frustrated. I wasn't seeing the success that I wanted to see fast enough. Now, granted, I wasn't spending any time being consistent. I wasn't plugged in to weekly trainings. I wasn't plugged into any sort of a business mentor or a training coach. I was just trying to figure things out all on my own instead of getting plugged in and having a consistent business schedule. But I also wasn't talking about why people wanted to join me. And so I want to just share with you what I did. The one thing that changed and actually created huge success. First of all, I set a goal. And with that company, my goal was to earn a free car. And a free car in that company, we had to have 14 people on our team and do $20,000 in volume. And then we earned a lease to a car. Now, in Mialisia, if you look at the numbers for you to get a car bonus, you're going to notice that it's a whole heck of a lot less than that. So thank you, Sean and Annalise and Mialisia Corporate, for giving us the opportunity to drive for free without huge production requirements. But that's what I had to do. And I want to tell you that in March of 2000, when I began that month, I had 0 people on my team, and I wasn't even hardly selling anything myself, let alone having a team that was selling $20,000 in volume. So what I started to do, and I learned, first of all, I plugged into someone who was excellent at team building in that company. And I started plugging into her. Now, I didn't know her personally, but she had some fabulous training on cassette tape. Okay, this is really dating me. But she did. She had a great cassette tape. And it wasn't even, the topic wasn't even on team building. It was on booking. Can you believe that? It was on booking. But guess what happened from her bookings? Team building. And so I started plugging into her verbiage, because you know what? success is sometimes just about duplicating somebody else who's successful. Usually it is. I know that some of us think I have to be creative and I have to be, the person who comes up with all the ideas. No, it's not. I always said that if you want to be successful, then be a copycat. And of course you want to copy the right cat. And I definitely did. I plugged into one of the most successful people in that company through her cassette tapes. And I literally wore out 3 cassette tapes. I listened to them so much and took notes and rewound and took notes that the tapes broke. And then I got her CDs. And did you know you can wear out a CD? Yes, you actually can. So absolutely, I was plugged into how she spoke. And one of the things that she said that I really took hold of was when I talked to people about the business opportunity, I started to say that I was building the largest and most successful team in the company. Now, you might think to yourself, you liar, you had 0 people on your team. Well, I did, but what I was setting out to do was build the largest and most successful team in the company. I really want to direct you guys to a fabulous TED Talk that Anna Jess shared with me. It's by Amy Cuddy, I think is how you say her last name. It's Cuddy. And it's actually on a really interesting phenomenon called power poses, which is totally not what I'm going to talk about. But she did mention something on that TED Talk that I thought was absolutely brilliant, but total truth, absolute truth. And that is that when you act as if, then you will become. You may have heard the phrase, fake it till you make it. That's pretty much the same thing. But you know what? Act as if and you will become. So that's point 4 I want you to write down if you're taking notes, as you well should be. Act as if and you will become. When you act as if, that is branding yourself. When you act as if you have one of the largest and most successful teams in Mialisia, then you will become the person who has the largest and most successful team in Mialisia. That's absolutely what I did. I remember when I first met Sean and Annalise, and I had been in the company for a couple of weeks and, hadn't recruited 100 people right off the bat. And I remember our president, Sean Brown, saying, Ariane, are you going to recruit? And I said, Sean, I am. And you are going to just have your mind blown by how big of a team that we're going to have on Team Magic. Now, at that time, I think we had less than 25 people in the whole company. But I spoke it into reality. I acted as if, and then I became. Now, I want to go back to my story with my previous company. I had 0 people on my team in March of 2000. By the end of a 4-month time period, I had added 29, not 14, but 29 people to my team and had done double the volume requirements because I acted as if. I want to talk to you a little bit more about that. Now, why would you want to tell someone that you are a successful person? Why would you want to tell someone that you are one of the top leaders, a founder in a brand new jewelry company? I don't know that many of you are utilizing the position that you are all in by being one of the very first people in Mialisia. If you are working and you are building, you are one of our leaders. You are one of the founders and leaders in a brand new company that will soon be a multi-billion-dollar global company. Are you telling people that? Are you telling people that you have been asked by our company president and CEO to share this concept with every single person in your town and, frankly, every single person that you know across the country? Because you know what? You've all been asked to do a Smart Start and a Super Start and to share this concept. So I want to let you know, and this is point number 5, is no one can follow a parked car. Have you ever tried that before? Pulled up behind a parked car and tried to go somewhere? Well, you don't want to be that parked car in your business. So when you talk about where you're going, the vision that you have for yourself, for your own business, for your family, for your team, for the organization that you're growing, in Team Magic, we always talk about building a company within the company. Are you letting people know that you're creating a multi-million-dollar organization? Now, you might say to me, Ariane, but I don't know that that's what I want to do. You know what? How will you know unless you try? You will never know unless you try, and I guarantee you, you will always wonder, could I have been one of those people who got in at the beginning and who became one of the top leaders in a amazing multi-billion-dollar direct sales party plan company? You will never know. And I want to tell you a little bit of a story about that. When I first started building that team back in March of 2000, I had no desire to be in leadership. Really, I didn't. I just wanted a free car because I grew up walking everywhere. I remember I had a job at Applebee's in high school, and I had to walk. It was a 45-minute walk both ways, uphill in the cold, no shoes on. Okay, dramatic, I know. But it really was 45 minutes, rain, snow, sleet. We had sleet in the Midwest, right, Midwest people? Ice storms. I walked to Applebee's 45 minutes each way because we only had one car as a family. I was the oldest of 6 kids, but I wanted a job. I wanted to make some extra money. I also walked everywhere in college, rain and snow, and I was sick of walking. I was sick of walking in horrible weather conditions in the Midwest. And I thought, you know what, if I could have a car, if I could have a brand new, reliable car, and all that I had to do was go to work, well, I knew I was going to go to work anyway. And so I seriously was so focused on that. But I did not want to be in a leadership position. I had all sorts of crazy thoughts, like, you know, I'm a shy person. I'm only 20 years old. I have no business experience. I didn't remember step number 2 that I had you write down, point number 2, which is believing you are enough, because you will grow to that person in the process. You will act as if, and you will become. You learn. I love that about this industry. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter who you are or what life you came from. It doesn't matter if you were privileged and you had all the things in the world and you graduated from Harvard with an MBA in business, or whether you're a shy, you know, non-makeup, non-jewelry wearing, you know, very hippie-loving girl from Iowa like I was. It doesn't matter. But the problem is that I didn't have that in my mindset. Now, let me tell you what happened. Because I started building, because I started adding a team to my business, because I started doing the activity, all of a sudden I started to see a little bit bigger of a picture for myself. And because I started growing and because I started achieving, I thought, you know what? I think I could become a leader. So if you're saying to yourself right now, well, I don't feel authentic or comfortable or honest in saying that I'm building one of the fastest growing, most successful organizations in all of Mialisia, that you don't feel comfortable saying I'm building a multi-million-dollar organization or that I'm going to be making 6 figures a month, I want to tell you from heart to heart, from friend to friend, you need to believe that's possible. And you don't know unless you start working towards it. Now, do I think every single person who ever joins Mialisia should say that they're going to become a multimillionaire? No. Everyone starts for lots of different reasons. What I'm trying to convey today is to speak bigger than where you're currently standing. Speak bigger than what you currently believe about yourself, because I truly believe that what you think about, you will bring about. All right, let's also talk about what you're putting in that mind of yours, because you know what? We know that if we eat unhealthily, we are going to be unhealthy in our bodies. Well, did you know that your mind actually needs to be fed just as much, if not more, than your physical body? Did you know that? Well, it's absolutely true. So think about this. Everything that you put in your body is either giving you energy or it's killing you. I had a personal trainer tell me that one time, and I stopped eating Twinkies at that very moment. Okay, nothing against Twinkies, but seriously, you guys know what I'm saying. Whatever you put in, garbage out. Well, your mind is the same way. Everything that you're putting into your mind is either helping you grow or it's killing your opportunity to become the person and to live the way that you can fully become and live. So I absolutely want you to focus on what are you putting into your mind. Are you plugging into trainings? Well, I'm preaching to the choir today because, of course, you are, because you're plugged into our corporate power hour. But are you plugging into everything that your upline mentor provides for you? Are you asking for help when you need help or more training on things? Are you reading good books? At our house and in my, as I coach business leaders and as I coach business owners in this industry, I firmly believe that leaders are readers. Leaders are readers, and I want you to adopt that. Now, if you don't like reading, then get it on audio. We have so much great technology right now that you can listen to a book, and I know that you can plug into your upline mentors and read incredible books like Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, so you can get a really great mindset on how to be a successful person who does make a good income and makes a lot of money, and that you can be a good steward of that, and you can know how to have good money scripts and good thoughts about money. Or how about How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, or Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So many classic, incredible books. Are you reading them? Are you plugging in? Because that's another way that you're going to be able to act as if, and you will become. All right. How are you sharing the business? I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but are you telling people that they want to be a part of your team? Now, I came from a company that had been around for 50 years, and many people knew who they were and knew what they sold and had a lot of stigma, both good and bad. But what I really focused on with my coaching of the people who came into that business with me is that it's more important that you're selling yourself than even you're selling your company. And we have an incredible company with Mialisia, but how are you selling yourself? Are you letting people know that, oh my gosh, you are so lucky you get to be a part of one of the biggest and best teams or the fastest growing teams in all of Mialisia? Are you branding yourself as being a leader, or are you saying, well, I just got started, I don't really know what I'm doing? Why would anyone want to be a part of that? People want to follow confidence. No one wants to follow wimpy. No one likes wimpy. So be confident. And again, remember, act as if and you will become. Are you building the biggest and most successful team? Are you building one of the fastest growing teams in Mialisia? Are you creating successful systems? Are you plugging into successful systems? What are you talking to your new potential designers about? People want to follow successful people. They want to follow confident people. And they also want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, something greater than themselves, and something successful. So talk about that when you're talking to people, excuse me, not only about our concept, but about our company, and talk about your team. Talk about your executive national team. I promise you that when you focus on those things, not just our concept and our comp plan, but when you sell and brand yourself, you are absolutely going to have more people attracted to you and wanting to join you. And that, again, not only applies to building a team, but that also applies to booking fashion events. When I book a fashion event, I tell people, oh my gosh, you know what? All of my fashionistas love being a fashionista for me because I spoil them. And you know what? Nobody has been to a party like one of my parties, and people leave saying, this is so fun. You're going to love it. And so what are you speaking? What are you branding? And what are you getting excited about? And what are you telling people to believe is going on in your life, in your business? Now, that leads me to talking a little bit about social media. Well, social media is an incredible tool to connect with people, but we also need to be really careful on social media. I'm going to specifically talk about Facebook because I think that's what people are using the most and they're the most familiar with and they plug into on a daily basis. But I also want to make mention that you can start building a brand by doing great YouTube videos, by being on Twitter and tweeting about your success. I love something that I heard overheard Sean Brown saying on a phone call the other day. He said, you know what, the internet can make you look bigger than you really are. And because people want to be a part of something big and a part of something successful, then you can start to brand yourself on your social media. But what I really do believe that Facebook truly is like reality TV show with your name as the TV program. So it's Ariane Morgan live and in action. And we need to be careful that reality TV show represents a positive and successful TV program like The Secret Millionaire, or is it a little bit more like Jerry Springer? Now, if you're having a bad day, you probably don't want to blast that all over social media. If you're in a fight with your ex-husband, you probably don't want to blast that over social media. Or if you're in a fight with your husband, or if you're getting divorced, I can't believe how many people I find out that they're getting divorced because they post it on Facebook. That is just crazy to me. So people are looking at your brand. In fact, I had a really top industry leader that contacted me and said that she, the people that she was friends with, that there was one person in particular that was in our company in Mialisia, and she was looking at that person's Facebook wall, and that person had posted something that was a little bit off color. Again, making sure that you're being, of course, politically correct, that you're not using foul language, and it really was a huge turnoff for her. And I had to, of course, let people know that, or let her know that, we're in a business and any organization is going to have a lot of different people involved, but we want to make sure that we're representing Mialisia and that we are really not only branding ourselves, but in this early beginning stages of the company, we're branding the company. So what do you want to represent? Not only in your verbal, talking to people in person or on the phone, but how are you being represented online on your social media? Do you have a theme or something that you want to strongly support? And that's a huge part of who you are and what you represent. Are you wanting to focus on being happy or empowering others, or being a mom and a business owner, or being able to be successful living in a small town and building an organization all over the country, even though you live in a small town? What is your brand? What is your message? And then making sure that you're appropriately branding that on Facebook, on Twitter, doing YouTube videos, having a professional profile on LinkedIn. All of those social media aspects are such a great strength to be able to use in building Mialisia, but you also want to make sure that you're not having Jerry Springer happening on there, but to make sure that you are a reality TV or reality social media into your life, that's something that people want to be a part of. Remember, people want to be a part of something big and successful and confident, and you want to be blasting that out there everywhere. Now, I will add on with that too, that I know we are having incredible success in Mialisia, but I am not seeing you all bragging on yourselves enough. And I know as women that that's something that's very difficult for us to do. But remember that what you speak comes into your world. In fact, I want you to think about your words as a magnet. And I want you to know that the more people are seeing that there is success happening in Mialisia, the more people will want to join Mialisia. So if you have 150, or we've even had a designer on Team Magic who had an $800 stop and shop, oh my gosh, girlfriends, you want to be, and guy friends, you want to be blasting that all over your Facebook. I talked to another really big industry leader who just came on board, and she said, I'm surprised by the number of, actually by the lack of testimonials that are on social media and on YouTube about the success that's happening in Mialisia. You all are having more success than most startup companies, and you're not telling people about it. And so are you creating a video when you have a great fashion event? Are you letting people know? I know that one of our top leaders on Team Magic posted one day a fashion event that she made $400 at, and that she was only there for 3 hours and made, over $100 an hour, and she was able to get a new designer that joined her team just from seeing that post. So I really want to encourage you as strongly and boldly as I possibly can with all the love in my heart and humility in my soul that you need to brag on your success. If we want to create a viral explosion in Mialisia, then people need to know that a success explosion is happening. Your words are like magnets. Now, that can be true on the other side. So you can't be positive and negative at the same time. You're either one or the other. So be careful about what you're saying, what you're posting, even what you may be doing a video on. Everything that you say is like a magnet that will attract more of that to you. So if you want more success on your team, then post about success. If you want more success in sales, post about the successes you're having in sales. Gosh, you know what? If you even sold one of our sweetheart sets, do you know that just one sweetheart set that you're selling, you are going to make $21? Do you know how long it would take you? A little bit over that, actually, but if you know how long it would take you to sell a sweetheart set today for Valentine's Day, you could make one phone call and in 5 minutes make almost $22. Who does that? Who has the opportunity to do that? So maybe if you're thinking, well, gosh, I haven't had a $800 stop and shop, or I haven't even had a $1,000 party. Well, gosh, you know what? Even if you sold one sweetheart set today, you could post, I just made almost $22 in less than 5 minutes. Who does that? I am building one of the most successful and fastest growing teams in Mialisia. It's a brand new ground floor level, huge opportunity to be a part of a company that is changing a multi-billion-dollar industry, and I want to let you know how you could make $22 in 5 minutes today. Message me, join one of your upline opportunity calls or webinars or whatever you have to plug into, you websites. Make sure that you are posting the opportunity to be successful, because that brands you and it brands our company. Well, I just want to let you know again that you have everything you need with this company to be successful. We have absolutely more than any other startup company that I have ever seen. We have incredible support materials. We have a recognition program. We have great trainings that you can be a part of. And on top of all of that, we are not a company that is selling a product that other people are selling. You know what? We're not another company who's selling more cosmetics. We're not another company who's just selling more necklaces. We're not another company who's selling another way to wear a locket. We're not another company who's selling another candle. We are a company that is selling a product that no one has ever seen before, with a multi-million-dollar sales history. We are a company that is creating a culture that is absolutely completely different than any other network marketing company that I have ever heard of. One that is helping people to see and realize and recognize and remember that they are of infinite worth. We have a tag on our product that reminds them of that. We are a part of something truly that has never been done before, and we are creating greatness. Are you sharing that enthusiasm with people every single day? Can you hardly stand to run into somebody and say, oh my gosh, you've got to hear what's going on. Have you heard of Mialisia? Have you seen our concept? Did you know that in less than 5 minutes, I made $22 today? I would love to help you to know how to do that. What you speak really will come back to you. Focus on your strengths. Believe that you're enough. Live and speak 6 months ahead. Act as if, and you will become. And I know that when you have that kind of branding, that success is absolutely going to multiply because of the efforts that you put into your Mialisia business. We are here to support you and encourage you, and I absolutely know that I would have never walked away from 15 years of a successful career, making over 6 figures, earning diamonds and luxury trips and free Cadillacs, if this wasn't the best thing out there in the world. I truly believe that, and I cannot wait to see the best that is truly yet to come with this incredible company. So be proud, be loud, be enthusiastic, and brand yourself as one of the top, and you will be absolutely that. So, Michael, that's what I had prepared today. So I don't know if we have any questions from that. It wasn't really much of a training topic, but if we do have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we have any questions so far. If any of you listening have any questions or requests for advice or anything, hop on the official Mialisia designer page and post a question on the Power Hour post. We'll give you just a minute to post.
I will just jump in really quick while people are maybe doing that, Michael. One of the ways that I started to believe better for myself and believe that I was enough was through positive affirmations. And I know that that's maybe something that's mocked in our society, back to the old school days of Saturday Night Live. I'm good enough, I'm strong enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. But I will tell you that I absolutely recommend writing up positive affirmations, things that you, like I said, living 6 months in your head. What would your life be like 6 months from now if you could absolutely create the success you wanted to create? Write those things down. Write about them in the positive present tense. Instead of, I hope I will make $10,000 a month, say I am making $10,000 a month commission with my Mialisia business. I made a list of about 20 of those when I was first starting to develop my leadership skills and to develop my branding with my former company at the beginning of my career in this industry. And I actually laminated them and I put them in my shower. And I also laminated them and I taped them to my mirror in my bathroom. There are actually studies that prove that when water hits your head, positive ions hit your head, and you actually can develop thoughts and beliefs in the subconscious areas of your mind. And so if you're really having a hard time believing, and if you're like, oh my gosh, Ariane, you are just totally wackadoodle, I want to challenge you to take the positive affirmation challenge. And the other thing that I did that helped me to focus on positivity and being confident and saying confident and positive things is for 30 days. Now, this might sound a little barbaric, but I promise you it will help you realize what's coming out of your mouth, because words are like magnets. I put a rubber band around my wrist, and anytime I didn't say, I said something that wasn't powerful or confident or positive or speaking into existence the things that I really wanted to see in my life, I did. I snapped the rubber band. And I know that might sound a little bit barbaric and a little bit cruel, but I did. And it helped me to realize, gosh, you know what? I really was speaking things that I really didn't want to have happen in my life. And if I have learned anything about success, it is that what we say actually does come to pass. So there you go. There's a couple more tips.
Awesome. We do have one question, and it's a great question, I think, both for your Mialisia business and just for yourself. Jessica wants to know what other ideas you have to help us believe in ourselves and become confident.
You know what? I think one of the best ways to believe in yourself and to become confident is by action. It's another thing that I've said throughout the years is that it's a lot harder to think about working than it actually is in doing the work. And actually, confidence is formed by achieving a series of small daily successes. So what I would say is, if you want to believe in yourself and you want to have more confidence, do something right now that will help you do that. Pick up the phone and sell a sweetheart set. You might learn that you can say something differently and get better results, but you cannot become a confident person with a high belief level or high deserve level by not taking action. So first of all, take action, and just realize that nobody has to do everything perfectly. In fact, there's an incredible book that I'm reading right now that I'm telling everybody about, so I might as well do it here, The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. It is an incredible book. She also has a fabulous TED Talk. Plug into things like TED Talk. Surround yourself with successful people, and you'll become more successful. But she has an incredible talk on TED Talks called The Power of Vulnerability. And I think we do sometimes think that in order to be successful, that we have to do things perfectly. And I will tell you, and I know that many of you have heard me say this before, that if you're not making mistakes, then you're not making money. And you need to know that you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. In fact, I hate the word failure and I hate the word mistake, because I really think that every opportunity is a learning experience. It's an opportunity for growth. And so you never make a mistake. You just learn how to do it better. You never fail unless you quit. And, it's really true that quitters never win and winners never quit. So first of all, do something, get into action mode, and then realize that you're never going to do everything perfectly. You'll just learn how to do things better. And the more you do, the more you'll start to go, oh my gosh, I'm doing it. I'm making it happen. And you'll start to have that confidence that, gosh, if I did it again, or I did it once, I can do it again. And I first of all want each of you to know that you have the ability to be courageous. You've already done something courageous by starting something new. You already did something courageous by being a part of this new company. So do something courageous again, because you have the ability to do that. And when you do that every single day, you're going to develop belief in yourself and you will develop confidence.